Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to Man, an authentic conversation with myself, Cedric Edison, and the wonderful man I get to call my friend, Ron Servin. This week we have something pretty special for you guys, as we'll be kind of letting you guys in on what it is we do as coaches, and we're gonna be letting you guys also witness, some of the challenges that we face in life as overall humans. And we hope that you guys could, listen into this sequence, to this coaching session and, be able to pull something away that you can use every day, maybe a mindful technique or just some questions you can ask yourself when you're thinking about some of those goals and that you're trying to meet in your life. And again, guys, I'm so grateful to have you guys tuning in, and I'm sure I know Ron is, I'm not sure, but I know he is. Just as happy and grateful as I am to have you guys join us each week to listen into the show. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Ron.
All right, welcome back. This is Man to Man, an authentic conversation with the amazing, fantastic, incomparable Cedric Edison and myself, Ron Servin. Glad to be back. We were on hiatus for 1 week, just a busy schedule, and great to be back. So tonight, just a little bit different way we're going through the conversation. I'm going to be just kind of catching up with Cedric on maybe some areas of his life that he might be able to discover and maybe move in a more nourishing direction for himself and maybe find out some things about himself. So Cedric, just kind of checking in with you. How you feeling?
Oh, pretty good overall, man. Pretty good. I guess for you guys listening in, I've been having a lot going on with the big move and, newborn on the way, new job and all that good stuff and coaching. So kind of busy, but still maintaining, just having to coach myself through some things.
Awesome. So just kind
You?
of, I'm good. Yeah. Just busy.
Cool.
Life as it is. But obviously creating space for opportunities like this to connect, and which is all very important to us. So just a question for you, kind of broad in nature, but maybe, kind of look at a place where to ask the question about, and that is, what would you like right now? What would Cedric Edison like in his life?
Man, um, I like right now, the first thing that pops in mind is stability, um, and to be better off financially. I mean, I'm okay, but I mean, it's one of those things I think we all would like, to just be more secure financially,
Okay.
and to solidify and really to solidify my coaching more. Just starting out, being fairly new to coaching, not even a year in. I still need to learn a lot, and and that's one of those things. I would like to be a more competent coach.
Mm-hmm. So what are you not experiencing right now?
Damn. Not experiencing.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I would have to say freedom. And what I mean is, like, I understand it. Starting a business and doing all that stuff takes time. But at the same time, I am ready for my freedom, to be able to not have to work full time and coach,
Mm-hmm.
um, to live the dream and actually be further along in the process of retiring my mom, and being able to take my family on trips
So what I'm
to
hearing
see
you
the
say
world
is,
like I did.
right. So I think what I'm hearing you say right now is what you would like is having more stability in your life, financially, a little bit more secure. Things aren't terrible, but just kind of looking at, being in a better place financially to support your growing family. and just to solidify your coaching, with a busy schedule, trying to get back into the swing of things, knowing that this is where you want to be. And, knowing that, it takes that practice and commitment and sacrifice to get there. So I'm interested, what will having this do for you to have this, kind of new, not experiencing this freedom, experiencing, the stability, having money in your pocket, knowing that, your next paycheck isn't something that's going to keep you from, kind of continuing moving forward in your life because, things financially are better, and having a solid coaching career, kind of knowing you've got your next client. So what will having that do for you?
Man, I mean, honestly, so much is tied, man, a lot tied around that. Um, Honestly, one, and I don't know if it's selfish or not, but it's more of a feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna feel accomplished, and like in saying, man, that was my dream, and accomplished, and man, I know my purpose and I know what I want to do, and to say I started from ground zero to a level to where my career, my job is to a full-time coach, man, that's I can't even describe the feeling I feel when I even think about it. So I would one feel that, and just being like overall happy,
Mm-hmm.
like being able, and I know I can do it now, but I feel like it would just be a little bit different to wake up, and I'm coaching, and I'm on my own schedule. Like, and I have nobody else's schedule to really worry about as far as how I make my money, you know. And I'll be so happy, and being able to see my mama face, everybody's face.
Right. And I kind of felt that energy shift because I think, you're very much connected to what your purpose is. I think that's very clear. And, your dreams are all connected with what your purpose is. And, just that when you said, being happy and feeling that feeling, even though we're on an audio call, that was very, very powerful. So I think, it's very clear to me, and it sounds like very clear to you that, those are all in congruency as far as, your purpose, what your dream is, and all those two things just creating, just extended happiness in all areas of your life.
Yeah, man, that's kind of cool.
Right.
I mean, hearing it now, I'm like, oh, damn.
Right.
you know.
So how will you know when you get this sense of freedom and this sense of financial, kind of more security, and this sense of, kind of having your dreams, right in front of you, or actually experiencing that? How will you know when you're in that?
Like, honestly, for me, the way I see it all is, once I'm not punching another person's time clock, because at that point I will feel like I'm comfortable enough, or confident enough in my ability to go out and truly get all of the clients like I want, because right now it's just kind of sporadic. But I'm coaching my ass off, but, and I'm trying to get the clients, but it's not that constant, steady stream. So for me, I would know it when I'm waking up every day and I'm coaching, and it's not 8 hours a day doing another man's job and, barely spending time on my dream.
Right. I like that. That sounds very simple, yet just beautiful in nature. Just, kind of knowing that simpleness of waking up every morning and being able to not just think about your dreams, or to kind of have those dreams, from afar, but to wake up every morning and to live that. It's just, how awesome.
That's when I'm annoyed.
Yeah. And how awesome that's going to be when you achieve that. So kind of,
Man,
so what, Cedric, just, this is kind of a, kind of that thing that comes up, right? Is what stops you? What stops you right now from achieving that?
oh man, simple. I guess like the first thing that come to mind is life.
Yeah.
Um, and, but trying to make sense of right now. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Because every day is a new moment, and all different types of things come up, that some of them I can bounce off and be like, oh, okay, and I coach myself through it. Then other ones, it's like, you just kind of get stuck. You don't know what to do, that type of stuff. So, um,
So when you have this feeling of, life, right? Because we all have life that's in front of us from potentially stopping us from living our dreams. Do you have any judgments about that?
um, I mean, sometimes, but it's really not I don't think it's a judgment because it kind of generally happens like now, it's, and I kind of have my preset schedule, and it's mostly for me, it's around time, just trying to figure out the time. And then, well, I guess it is judgment because now I'm looking at it because I'm like, okay, well, I know how to find the time. For me, it's just get your butt up a little bit earlier and buckle down, you know. Um, and then at the end of that, if it's a day that goes by and I don't, I might go and work out, but I kind of lollygag, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, how you do one thing, you do everything, and then I might just kind of sit on the porch, but I'm enjoying the moment, in my mind, I'm like, okay, man, I'm present right now, I'm just enjoying the air, and it's cool. But a part of me, that motivational side of me, is like, hey, you haven't reached your goal yet. You need, like, you still have 45 minutes. You can get in there and put 30 in and study something. But then and I don't sometimes. And then at the end of that, it's like on the way to work, I'm like, damn, man, you could have, damn, you bullshitting. Like, why you playing? Like, that was some time right there wasted, and you talking about you don't have time. Like, what the fuck?
So what I'm hearing you saying is you're kind of to a certain extent, you're kind of your own accountability coach at times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when that's kind of in place, maybe there's a little less, kind of control with the outcome versus, having something in place that keeps you motivated, whether it's your own, kind of motivating, factors, or, somebody else, kind of kicking you in the ass. I know I've kicked you in the ass from time to time, kind of getting you going. So interesting. I mean, I think it's important to kind of see where our judgments are in our life, and oftentimes the judgments can live, in areas of our body, and we can, feel discomfort not knowing where that discomfort might come from. So I'm interested in, around this judgment that you seem to now feel like there is some of that. Is there anywhere in your body where that seems to be present, where you would feel that more so than other areas of your body?
Man, I have to be honest. Like, that's something like, after today, I'll probably have to take a look at, because you just kind of going through, and I don't necessarily, when it's on my mind, recognize where, if anywhere, it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so I can't really. Mm,
Maybe just sit in that a moment, just, kind of feel that judgment that you have felt, maybe even as early as today, around something that you maybe couldn't have, didn't do that you could have done. um, and just that feeling that you had, kind of in that, situation. Was there any, kind of, and oftentimes discomfort can be very subtle. It doesn't have to be, a nagging pain. So maybe just scan your body now. Just, close your eyes, and when you're in this kind of place of judgment, maybe just be a little bit more mindful of where that little energy, that's in your body might be, hiding or kind of hanging out, that might be something to look at.
Hmm. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it's because of my age or not, but I'm like, man, my knees and my ankles.
Okay. So both
Yeah.
knees and both ankles?
Yeah, but now I'm thinking about it, man. Like it's been kind of weird here lately. Like my stomach area, though. Now I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, I've been getting these weird cramps. I'm just stressing.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and
Yeah, 'cause
take a couple more breaths right now. Just kind of get back in tune with that. And do kind of tap back into those areas of discomfort or areas where there's some energy that's kind of trapped and feeling like it maybe doesn't necessarily need to be located where you're feeling it. And visualize if or actually not well, visualize as well as kind of put yourself as your knees and your ankles, if they had a voice, a mouthpiece to where they could actually say something to you. What might your ankles and knees say to you?
take care of me. Um, we need constant action
Mm-hmm.
and stop starting and stopping. Like we need constant action, but healthy. Don't overwork us, but keep us moving.
So if
Um,
you're kind of looking at those statements you said to where the voice might say, take care of me. We need to keep in constant action for physically. Obviously, we need to move, but we also need to move our life forward, right? We need to take those steps to get where we want to be, and sometimes those are small steps, sometimes those are bigger steps. Um, and kind of looking at that initial judgment, what if the intention of the voice of your knees and ankles was actually positive versus something something negative? What might that positive kind of more kind of message? I mean, I think what I was hearing from you initially was uh, please support me almost, and do what I need you to do, versus maybe what they're actually telling you might be blank. So if that voice was just telling you exactly kind of that positive flow, what might that statement be? Because it sounded a little bit like there was a little judgment that maybe the knees and ankles don't feel like they're being supported. But what if they were giving you a more positive message, and what might that message actually be telling you versus it giving you, more of a you're not doing what we need you to do for us type message?
mm, I don't know. I think honestly, it would be more like trust us to do our job.
Okay.
Um, man, I mean, I
So
don't
the kind
know.
of
The
so the
thing
kind
that keeps popping in my head is uh, just something around moving forward. Just
of okay, interesting. So maybe it's not so much um, kind of the support. I mean, there's obviously your ankles and your knees support you, but that energy might be getting caught up in the actual movement as well as just your life moving forward, kind of that connection of the two.
I think it's almost like a negative and a positive because it's almost like I'm not taken care of them, of the support system.
Right.
And it's like they're saying, hey, you need to build a strong foundation. And, you got to train it up. And right now you're not training it right.
Right.
And it's saying like, you're ready, because all you need are your two legs, just You just need movement. You're ready. You got them. We're here. So let's take you.
And they're giving you, they're teaching you, right? So the messages that we get from our body sometimes can feel like discomfort, might be around, as a result of judgment. And instead of looking at that as, more of a physical ailment where, we're getting old and, our knees and ankles aren't what they used to be, maybe there's that positive message that they're trying to teach us that we just need to move forward in our life. I mean, in many ways, whether it's, you're being a father, your coaching career, and then the physical movement, I think, that's kind of in your mindset as well as you went through your kind of health, scare and challenges to where, staying active, obviously that's important for you as well. So, kind of that message, that holistic message that your body's given you that, kind of applies to several different areas of your life. It's teaching you. And then that's all revisable. I mean, kind of those messages that we cast that judgment, around, that message is something that can be revised, a message that can be rewritten, those messages that we allow to enter into our thought process are up to us, right? And because we can maybe take on that thought that somebody else put in our mind, and that feels good because that's what we've heard all of our life. And, that person, was a big person, important person in my life. So why wouldn't I believe that versus maybe that authentic thought of, no, that's not true. I mean, I know what I need. I know what I want. And the message, I can create that new message for myself and move forward in a different direction that's going to provide me this outcome that I'm looking for, to have this freedom, to have this, financial, kind of stability to where you're living your dreams. You're waking up and whose life you're going to change today, right?
Right.
As well as keeping on your path. I mean, keeping your, kind of focus on Cedric being the best person that he can be. So take a moment, and if your eyes aren't closed still, if you can close your eyes and just breathe into I know you mentioned your stomach as well. So all three areas, just, kind of focus, nice deep inhalation and allowing the air to flow to all three of those areas, your knees, both knees, your ankles, and your stomach. Just allow that feeling of nourishment from the air that we breathe, and just take a few of those, and I'll catch back up with you here in a second here too.
Okay.
So a question for you, Cedric. I'm really curious to know, and this is a question I guess I probably should have asked you a long time ago. When are you at your best? When would somebody know, and when would you know that if they saw you or you were experiencing yourself, what would that look like when you're at your best?
Man, like just every day, or when I'm like, because for me, when I'm at my best, I'll be at where I want to be. I don't know, but I just like not afraid to be this energetic person. Because energy attracts, and I mean, I like that, and I am that in certain crowds. I'm at my best when I'm like helping and honestly, like probably talking to people.
So just connecting. I mean, kind of helping, talking, which is, a couple different variations of connecting. So sounds like, and you can rephrase it if it doesn't feel right, but sounds like connection is very important to you. And when you do feel connected with yourself and with others, that's Cedric.
Yeah. I'm just riding the wave, just enjoying it.
Right.
That's when I can do my best. And And if it's challenging, I like a challenge, because if it's easy, I'm not, it's just like, all right. Um,
So the
I do
conversation,
well.
yeah, exactly. So the conversations that we've had, I feel that you're not far from that. I mean, I think there's a percentage that maybe you're not feeling that, that place of, kind of being at your best. I'd say there's times where I feel like you are being at your best, and there's other times where maybe you're checking in with a little bit of uncertainty. So even at that, I mean, I think we're looking at maybe 15%. So what might you need to let go of to be fully aligned 100%? To be that, that authentic, version of yourself, to where you're at your best every moment of your life. What might you need to let go of?
Man. Anger. Mm, I guess I kind of don't really even know how to explain it, but I guess I would have to let go of. I want to say controlling the future, or no, really just hold the way my vision of how I get there.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a real big thing. It's like I have this vision, and it's kind of intertwined with the timeline, and all this other stuff. It's a big twisted ball, but I hold on to that ball though. And if I don't, and it, if it's not lining up or looking like I see it, then a lot of stuff could, it just kind of rabbit hole starts.
So some of that anger
Um,
comes from that, or is that just separate?
um, a lot of anger is probably separate, and I think I have it under control, but um, it's and I think a lot of the anger, and it's weird because it comes from a place like, now I feel like, man, I'm really nice. I don't bother anybody. I don't touch what's not mine. I don't steal. I'm a good person.
Mm-hmm.
So now, and I used to be a fighter. I would lash out, and now I get mad, but I don't react the same. And I'm sure people could tell. Like for instance, I think I was telling you earlier. I had some chips in the house and been thinking about them all day, and I don't touch other people's stuff, and we have the whole family in the house, and to come in and somebody just, to me, I'm like, those were my chips. You guys just you ate my stuff without asking me. I would never do that. Like, I would never ever do that. I don't care whose it is, how hungry. I don't care. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm instantly pissed. And they saved some, so it was like one of those things. Okay, y'all ate my chips. You thought you were gonna come back and eat the rest? Or, if I can't have them, nobody's eating them. I'm pouring them in the trash. Stuff like that. Like, I got really angry. So I need to but for me, and now that's where the judgment comes, because I'm like, man, I should not be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a fight. Like, man, okay, you have to stand for something. Like, and then it's all over again.
But maybe
So
you,
that's the anger thing.
and it sounds like you recognize that, and kind of know when that's coming on. I guess the challenge is, not putting that judgment on yourself, just trying to maybe move back from the, kind of where that origin is of that, and then just kind of sit in that space and allow yourself to, kind of, be okay with that, coming up from time to time, but just kind of recognizing it early on when you get that, that feeling of discomfort, kind of like you did in your knees and your ankles and your stomach. When you start feeling that dis-ease, which is interesting when you think about disease, that, kind of breaking that down, that dis-ease, when you
Right.
recognize that, try to, in that moment, be mindful and, know that you've got different options for yourself to select versus always pushing the button that you typically push.
Yeah.
And what might someone believe in order to have the experience that it's okay to be, kind of having this sense of freedom, having this sense of financial stability? What might someone believe in order to have that experience that it's okay?
That it's okay to have all of that?
Mm-hmm.
And what would you have to believe? Really, that it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see it. You got to believe it. Because how I look at it now, you got to believe it to see it, and not see it to believe it.
Yep.
And at some point, you have to realize that it's not when you get there; it's when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense,
It does.
especially, okay.
So when somebody wants to experience this sense of freedom and financial stability and this, kind of connection with this being this, solidifying their career, whether it's coaching or whatever they're looking to do in their life, they have to see that happening and trust the process. Not, I think one thing you mentioned earlier was, a little bit of control around the outcome versus letting go of that and allowing allowing things to unfold as they do, and trusting that things will work out. And there's some real learning around that. So in contrast, what might someone believe about themselves in order to have the experience of not feeling freedom, not feeling financially stable? What might somebody believe about themselves to have that experience?
Oh, man. Probably, like, first thing is I'm thinking is self-doubt. That's kind of, and I'm just going off me. Sometimes I doubt myself, like, man, like, can you really do it? Like, you've been busting your ass, and, I feel like so self-doubt. Mm, yeah, I guess that's it. And not being confident. You want to be confident.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to switch gears here now. So you've done all the hard part. So great job with that. You can take,
All right.
take the pressure off you. So you did a great job. So now we're going to work on a process called transforming anger into love. So this will be easy because you've already done, as I mentioned, the hard part. So just relax. And the exercise has 4 parts. I'm going to walk you through it, so you don't need to do much. Just kind of allow me to prepare you on what to say, and then you'll kind of get the cue on the next step. So the first word, as I mentioned, is anger. So we start with anger because behind all judgments is usually a feeling of anger. And we ask the question, why? Because there's usually something that we could be doing, we're capable of doing, and we're not doing. So it's starting with anger, kind of feeling that judgment that you mentioned early on. So I'm going to give you a sentence to finish here, and I'm going to give you the beginning of the sentence, and you're going to finish it off for me around anger.
Okay.
So I'm angry for you for.
Not following through.
Okay. Next is fear. Fear that something bad will happen if we don't change. Fear if you don't change, something that you're not expecting might happen. So finish the sentence here. I'm afraid you will
Fail.
Okay. So next is the request. Some action, no matter how small, that moves towards change. I recognize that you, and I'll do this in two parts. It's kind of long. So the first one is, I recognize that you really want to live the best life ever. My request is that you let go of
self-doubt and laziness.
Okay. And the second part of that is so that I can
be what I want to be.
Okay. And the last one is love.
Okay.
And you're going to finish this statement once again. I love you. You deserve
everything you want.
Awesome. Very awesome. So based on these new insights that you're now kind of feeling a part of and connected to, which actions, no matter how small or how small you might be willing to take, are worth taking? And again, you be careful about judgment. Just any actions that you're willing now to take that are going to kind of move you in the direction from anger to love.
All right. Oh, say hello?
Yes.
Yeah, what was the last?
So based on these new insights, what action, and again, it doesn't matter how small this action might be, are worth taking right now for you in your life?
That's worth taking. What action is worth taking? Man, all of them. But like right now, man, I can just waking up early, just getting to it, and not the self-doubt, really. Okay. I can move through that.
Okay. So if you did do that, what would likely happen if you kind of remove that self-doubt? That wouldn't happen if you maintain this kind of struggle with having these areas of doubt. What would happen versus wouldn't happen if you remove this doubt from your life?
Like I honestly, I would be feeling like one, becoming a better coach because I'm digging deeper within myself and overcoming stuff, which is essentially how I think I build my toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be more confident and I would feel, in my abilities too, and it'll strengthen that. And then it'll just, I would feel like that energy would surge to move me to doing more consistently what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost want to just kind of, because part of it too, and I hate to say lazy, but I mean, that's what it really boils down to, are no wasted opportunities, I guess I should say,
So what can you claim for yourself right now?
Wow. I mean, I want to say victory, but I could, man, which way do I go with that? What can I claim for myself now? And I want to say I can claim my life.
That's pretty powerful. Your life's important.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like for some reason I'm letting all this other stuff control my life, which means I don't have it because I'm not in control of it.
So what you stated was one area that you could definitely move forward on is doubt, to not have that feeling of I'm not good enough, that others don't think I'm good enough. Removing that from your mindset. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to follow through on this?
Committed, man. I'll be honest, I have to put it at a 9.
Okay.
And that's crazy because even now, like, no, let's screw that. I'll put it at a 10. Because, I mean, I really want it to be over, but a part of me is like, man, wait.
And I was going to challenge you to, what would it take for you to be committed to that level 10? And I think you stepped up right there. So I think that didn't sound like it was very easy for you to state that. So that's pretty powerful that you're willing to go from a 9 to a 10 very quickly, and knowing that, self-doubt has played, a role, in, I'm not sure all of your life, but, some important years of your life. And now it's kind of holding you back from stepping forward and allowing yourself to be the best version of yourself, and feeling like Cedric Edison is alive. He's whole. He's present, all these things that you are. This self-doubt is kind of keeping you from getting, to that next level of commitment to yourself.
Yeah, man. Wow.
So I'm interested, because obviously we have our connection, man to man, we have a friendship, all those things that we know. What else might we be able to set in place to, put a little bit more meat to the situation, to ensure that this self-doubt is really kind of in your mind, in your, kind of daily practice, to, allow it to flow out of you, to know that it's all revisable. Like I was mentioned earlier, the things, our life ahead of us hasn't been written yet. So what might we be able to put in place to create that support for you to ensure that self-doubt is on its way out in your life?
Golly, man. Oh.
You didn't know what you're getting yourself into.
Oh man. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go with the first thing that came to my mind, and I know this is what it is because as quick as it came in my mind, self-doubt crept in. So I know, because it's gonna require me to have to work at it. But here we go. Be more visible virtually. Although nothing may even materialize from that, but me having to do it holds I don't know why, but it just holds some type, not even an accountability, but it will just make me get over it more and more. Because the more I do it, the more I have to face that giant,
So what might
train yourself into.
So what might you need to do on a daily basis to create this practice?
One is it's weird, but I would say journal.
Okay.
And then man, I wouldn't say daily because I think that's a little much, but just be more present. I guess I could just post every day. Just post a thought. It's like what's going through my mind.
So I'd like to...
But also do it in an unsafe place. Because like now, most of my posting is within the coaching world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So by putting yourself out there more authentically, more often. I think there's that opportunity, through Facebook and things like that. But I guess I'd like to stretch you a little bit more to kind of create situations in your everyday life where that can also be, kind of a safe place for you to, be this best version of yourself as well. Not just in the, the world of those out there that, kind of see you from afar and see your posts and feel, kind of connected to you that way. But, you're going to be in front of people someday and they're going to want to feel that connectiveness with you live. So I'd like to see if there's something in addition to, I like the journaling. I mean, I create more of a wellness journal, that I try to write something in there every day around, a wellness mantra or things like that. So what I'd like you to do is kind of pick something that's, connected to what you mentioned, kind of that, that what you called it, the more visible, visible virtuality. But also, what can we put in place for you on a daily basis to in person be that same version of yourself?
Hmm. Hmm. Honestly, man, I don't know. Because I'm like, at work, most days I get to be that guy,
Okay.
because I'm doing what I love. I got people coming in all day. I get to help people. It's a different type of help, I mean, I love my job. I mean, but so, I mean, that's there. Um, hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think
I don't know. I guess I could just talk to more strangers on my off time, but I don't really have, and I say that, but in my day, I don't really have much time for that.
what if you just, over the next 2 weeks, every day you create, a new, even a simple conversation with somebody that you see or may run across that you're, able to just kind of connect with them, create an opportunity for connection. And that could just be somebody that again, that you see on a regular basis that where you get your coffee or whatever that might be. And or maybe somebody you don't see all the time that you just happen to come into their space and just, because you mentioned before about just, kind of your desire to create more of these conversations. So, you create a daily conversation, and maybe that conversation can be with yourself. And maybe it could be on Facebook. Maybe it can be in person. So maybe a blend of those to where every day you're committing to creating a connection that allows you to be the full version of yourself.
Man, I like that. And the eloquent
Yeah.
Ron Servant, everybody.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
And
I
maybe
couldn't have said it better, but that's it. I like that.
that. Maybe just journal those, just a simple, something that's not going to take a lot of your time. Journal, something every day that you just log in, had a conversation with the mailman, connected with, a new employee at work. Just start creating that, kind of that the result of your efforts so you can kind of see your progress, knowing that every day of your life, you're giving yourself the will, you're moving yourself away from self-doubt, you're being vulnerable, and you're allowing yourself to, show everybody all parts of who you are.
Yeah, I like that, man. Yeah. And the journaling, man, that's gonna be a frog for me that I have to eat. Because
I
I
think
have
that's
one
your
and I just been staring at it. But now I'm like, oh,
I think that's your stretch, and that's your accountability right there. Because I'm going to be asking you to, check to see how you're doing with your journaling, but you're the only one that's going to know what days you're missing, what days you're committing to, and knowing where you're letting yourself kind of slip from that authentic person and moving into, judgment and some of these things that you're knowing that you want to stay focused of remaining away from those areas.
yeah, I guess I could. Well, and that's why I bought one. And I mean, it's no better time than now because that's why I got it. I was like, man, I hear all this stuff about this journaling, so I might as well try it and stop looking at it.
Yep. And maybe share your updates, with your, your group, your friends about that, that experience, and allow them to get that gift from you of, your willingness to stick with something that, has been difficult for you. I mean, share that challenge and that struggle, knowing that you're being, authentic, and you're giving that gift to somebody else that may struggle with the same, thing that you're struggling with.
Yeah, yeah, that's a way, and it's a hurdle I'll be jumping over.
Yep.
I like that.
Awesome job, man. I mean, I think that was, you really, took time to be very mindful. You were present, all those things that we can very easily, kind of, push the easy button and say the things that sound all sweet and nice versus, digging deep and, doing the hard work that you did. So, that was awesome. And keep it up. I mean, know that there's other areas that you mentioned that you're, still wanting to move forward, but, step at a time, right? Let's just work on self-doubt right now, knowing that, we can get that under control. And then maybe there's something else that kind of moves its way to the surface, and that's next.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, this was all right. This was wow. I like this. I do.
Good stuff. Yeah, little again, mentioned early, guys, a little variation of man to man, and kind of a cool experience from us to kind of go through this exercise together and learn something about ourselves. And as men, we have to encourage and support each other through areas that we know we can do better. Anything from you, Cedric, on, for the listeners that might, give them some insight on your experience?
Man, I'm very, very grateful, man, that we got to do this. And again, it's so authentic because I haven't ever gone through this sequence. Don't remember if I did, but I greatly appreciate it, and that's what it's about. That's why we're doing this, just to kind of bring awareness to men and women, boys and girls, and whoever is listening. The work that we do, and I hope you guys could see, some of the, well, not some of the good, all of it, what came from it. I was blessed, and I have something to hold on to, and I feel like I'm ready to go. Like I want to get off now and like go to sleep and wake up and get started. It's one of those. And my mind is just blown right now.
Maybe your first journal entry tonight.
Right. I can talk about this experience, just what my goals might be, and then that'll help because now I'm seeing it now, like how it could help. Just sitting here, like journal, and then, hey, I have thoughts, I have content, to bring to people, at least virtually, and then, to go back and read and be able to evaluate myself where I was, like, oh, okay, well, you feeling that way, like, damn, dude, that was a bad, maybe not a judgment, but just, to go back and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Now I'm kind of interested. I'm really interested to see where it's going to go.
That's life, right? We put our attention and intention in gear, and now you've got the support from me and the support from yourself and the support of the community to kind of ensure that and that success is inevitable.
Yeah, man, I can dig it. Oh man, I'm so bad every day. I'm like, golly, when I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm glad we were on that homework assignment together.
Homework can be fun, right?
Yeah, man, we had a bunch of fun and still do.
Yep. Awesome. Well, we're running short on time, guys. Again, every time we do this, we truly appreciate this connection we have. We wouldn't be who we are without you. And
Right.
let us know whatever we can do for you from afar. Support any type of topics. I know we mention this on a regular basis, but this is for you. It's for us as well, but this is for you. A gift that we hopefully are giving to you to allow you to be more authentic, to be, the topics that we've talked about. Be a better father, be more vulnerable, be okay, understand where you feel, how you feel about death, understand how you feel about life. All these different topics that were kind of thrown out there. And look for, again, as I mentioned earlier, variations of this channel or variations within this channel. Some live streams, looking to do some, kind of impromptu interviews with individuals that are ready to talk about a topic with two men. So, Cedric, any closing remarks?
Man, you hit them all. My same things, man. I love y'all. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, you said it all for me.
Well, a great big smile on my face and a huge namaste to you, Cedric, and to everybody out there.
Namaste.